Hello everybody. I have a Dewalt it's a 4200 psi 4 gallon per minute pressure washer. I don't think that's that important, but what I'm going to do is change the wheel bearings on this, so you can tell. I've already done the other side and they're, it's just pretty rough. If you want to know, do I need to change my wheel bearings? If it sounds like that, probably. And then, all that play in there. They don't fit very tight because there's just like a little keeper ring here and then a washer. And then the bearings slide on, they get pressed into the hub of the wheel and they just slide over the shaft. So it's not real tight anyways, but if it sounds like that or feels like that, it probably needs the bearings changed. All right, so to get this off, all you gotta do is pop this little keeper ring off, and then there's a washer, and then that's just gonna slide off. So I can already tell, the bearings on here are pretty worn out. That center piece shouldn't there shouldn't be all that play in there if your ball bearings are still good. So we're gonna put it up on the bench and pop that out. Okay, so this actually has two bearings, one on this side and one on that side. So what I do is just lay it down and then get some kind of punch or something that you can kind of put in here and slide on the other one, and then I'm just going to hit that with a hammer. So that's going to be off camera, but I'm going to do it. Alright, so I got one side, kind of move over to the other side, and yep, popped it right out. So then you just flip it over and do the same thing on this side. This one's a little easier to see, right? And you can definitely tell those are pretty rough, a lot of play in them. And then this one you can even see, between the, you can actually see the bearings, that gap between the bearings and the race and how loose it is. So that just means those ball bearings are worn out and maybe even missing some. Some of them may have worn out so much that they've fallen out. Same thing on that, just pop it out and good to go. Okay, so old bearings are out. There's one of the new ones, and I'll go over the dimensions of this one here in a little bit after I finish this up. But what I did was I cleaned out I don't know if it's necessary, I cleaned these out with some PV Blaster, and then I put a little bit of garage door lube. That's just some lubricant that I had laying around. So I sprayed a little bit in there basically to make pressing the bearings in a little bit easier. So I'm going to use this bearing press that I have, and I have the wheel set up. It's probably not going to be the easiest, but basically have it set up so I can show you guys. It's kind of what I figured was going to happen. So I can show you how I'm going to put it in. Like I say, it kind of goes, there's a nut on this side that threaded rod goes all the way through, nut on both sides, and then you pretty much just tighten this up, and that'll press the bearing in pretty nicely. Like I say, I've already done the other one. I figured I'd go ahead and make this video on this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and use both hands and tighten that up real quick. Okay, so that literally takes all but a minute or so, and pressed in there very nice. So I'm going to repeat the same thing, basically pull this out, put it in the other side, got my other bearing, it's going on here, and repeat the process. If you don't have these things are pretty cheap. I can't even remember where I got this, but I've used it a number of times, just doing simple stuff like this in the garage, and it wasn't that expensive. So if you can find one, it's probably worth having something you know, just to press it, just to do simple stuff like this. Like I say, if you don't have one, you can probably beat these in with a hammer. That's, if I didn't have a press like this, that's what I'd do, is just basically get a, you know, I try to get a socket that fit this outer edge. You know, maybe something like this, I guess a little bit bigger than that, and just pound these in. But for now, I'm gonna use the press. Okay, so I've got both sides in. Look pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the bearing itself. I did a little bit of research online trying to find parts list for this specific pressure washer so I could find the bearing. The only thing that pulled up, at least that was listed in the diagram parts list, was the entire wheel hub assembly, you know, with the bearings in it. Obviously I didn't want to buy that, so you know, these are called, I didn't even know what these were called, but they have a little lip on them, so they're called flanged bearings. Couple important dimensions, as I found out, the inner diameter here, and then also the hub diameter. So basically without the flange, you know, from edge to edge, and then the width is a good one. And there's, you know, if you look at this, there's two different widths or thicknesses. You're going to have a thickness here, and then you can also see the center portion it sticks out a little further. So anyways, the bearings I ended up getting were this, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Ike. So in my case, the inner diameter is 5/8, and you can measure that, you know, just a little tougher. So what I had here was it's a punch. It's a 5/8 punch, and fits real nice right in there. So that's how I measured that. And then the outer, I just used my ruler to measure the outer diameter. Anyways, these are so it's 5/8 inner diameter, 1 3/8 outer diameter, so the inside of the hub here, and then you can see the width is 1/2 and 7/16. So I think that width is, I don't know if it's with the flange and without the flange, or if it's this part plus the width of that inner race there. Anyways, this is what I got. They match almost exactly. I can't remember the cost. Maybe I think I got 4 of them for $7 or $8, something like that. But that's what I used. And then back down here, I'm not going to show it, but the installation is basically just the reverse of taking it off. I'll probably clean that this little spindle up a little bit. When I put the other one on, it was a little tight. I'll show that. So yeah, it's kind of tight going on, so you kind of got to wiggle it, which is probably a good thing. You know, basically get it on there nice and tight. So, but I'm gonna clean that off and that shaft off, the axle there, and then probably put some lube on it. But then you put the washer back on, the keeper ring, and you're good to go. All right, thanks for watching.